I had finally found my tribe. Inspiration had grabbed a hold of me, and I became obsessed with the idea of creating a platform for women to speak from, learn activism work, including direct action, education, and building a sisterhood, and to cross-pollinate and support each other in solidarity. But COVID hit, and all my plans were postponed, but still passionately stirring. Once I learned men were inside the women's prison here where I live, I knew that would be my focus. When the right time arrived, I reached out to Leanne Keith to ask for help, and she graciously guided me in setting up the infrastructure to run my first event. After tossing different names around, Sovereign Women Speak is what spoke to me. Thank you, Vajrama. Next, I needed a team, but I could only find 2 women who were interested in my vision. Heather Scousey, who I met in Seattle, and Nancy Diamond from my home state. I did not let that deter me. Thank you, Heather and Nancy, for trusting and believing in me. Next, Lear introduced me to a few women, and they introduced me to more, and soon I had my guest speakers lined up for a fabulous program, and that it was. They were all amazing. This is Gig Harbor. It is 2 minutes from WCCW, Washington's Correctional Center for Women, also known as Purdy Prison. It is the destination I chose to protest. Upon finding out that Washington State was locking men into women's cells, I about lost it. I wanted to visit the women, but COVID hindered everything. So I found a way to communicate with the women on the inside using JPay, an app that provides the ability to send letters. I pulled up WCCW's website and was able to copy-paste all the women's names and doc numbers. Then I wrote a cover letter that addressed our mission and concern of men like Douglas Perry being housed with them, and sent it out to 200 women asking them to spread the word, and they did. Letters began flooding my inbox of women's fears, frustrations, and anger. The women knew of our protest and were very excited and grateful as they expressed in their many letters. I felt like I couldn't get there soon enough. But the day had arrived, and our bus was waiting to take us to the prison and harbor. For me, it was the highlight of the entire event. Lauren Adams gave a great speech of what was taking place inside prisons now that men are being housed with the women. Kara Dansky, Bess Stelzer, and Ava Park all delivered amazing speeches on the fly. All of it was so emotional. I had goosebumps layered on top of goosebumps.
What is happening at the state level is happening at the federal level, where President Biden has signed a series of executive orders requiring federal agencies to interpret the word sex to mean so-called gender identity. It is happening all across the country. To the best of our knowledge, 49 states, plus the District of Columbia, allow men to be housed in women's prisons on the basis of their so-called gender identity. He is doing it based on a complete misreading of the Supreme Court's terrible decision in the case of Bostock versus Clayton County. He is lying to the American people about what that court decision said. He is saying that that court decision requires agencies to interpret the word sex to include gender identity. That is not true. We are here to say no to men in women's prisons in Washington State, in California, across the United States, and federally. Women say no. No!